Every time someone buys your product, they're firing something else. Not considering alternatives, not exploring options, firing as in, you're done and I'm switching. And here's what most founders miss. The reason they fire the old thing matters more than the reason they hire your product for. Because if you understand the forces behind the switch, you can design a product that almost is impossible to say no to. Today, I'm going to show you the switching story behind every customer decision and how to reverse engineer it into your MVP. So let me tell you a story about a woman named Sarah. Sarah got selected for a prestigious multi-week out-of-state executive training program. She needed a bag, something that could hold her laptop, look professional in a boardroom, and double down as a purse at networking events in the evening. She had been using a Luca Bella bag for years, but the straps were worn out, items kept falling out when she traveled, and it couldn't really serve as a purse. That's Act 1, the switching trigger that broke something in her current world. This is not, I want something new because I'm feeling impulsive. This is the result of something specific that changed in her current reality. In this case, the executive training opportunity broke her current solution, which was perfectly fine before, but now is no longer fit to do the job. In customer switching terms, this is called a push force, something in her current world that is driving her away from her existing solution. And the push is everything. Most founders obsess over how great their product is, but the smartest founders study the push because without a strong push, no amount of product appeal will move the customer. Now watch what happens next. Sarah starts searching. She looks first at an Elisa bag, but it felt too cheap and plasticky, and so she fires it. Then she finds a Cuba bag, which was over $500. She fires that one too. She goes through 4 other candidates and fires every single one of them. Every rejection has a specific reason, a firing criteria, and each one carries a different weight. Price killed the Cuba, quality killed the Elisa. Each reason has an important score. Some are deal breakers, while some are just minor annoyances, but they still don't get hired. That's Act 2, the search. She's not just browsing here, she's auditioning candidates and firing them one by one. And notice what's happening underneath. 2 other forces are competing. There's the pull, the attraction towards something new. She wants a bag that fits her laptop, looks professional, and doubles as a fashionable purse. But there's also friction, the anxiety about switching. Will the new bag actually be big enough? Will the straps hold up? Is it worth the money? Every candidate she fires is friction winning over pull. She ends up choosing a Cole handbag. And why? Because by the end of her search, only 2 things matter to her the most. Can it serve as a laptop bag? And 2, can it look good as a purse? Those are her hiring criteria, the reasons she said yes. But here's the part most founders ignore. She wanted a lot more features, but passed up on them. The Cole handbag had 2 straps instead of 1. Sarah wanted a single strap. It wasn't padded, and so she worried about her laptop. And it's a little on the larger side to really double up as a purse. All these are trade-offs, the shortcomings she accepted when choosing the bag she finally did end up purchasing. And her satisfaction level at the end of the story was only neutral. She bought that bag because it was a better alternative than her old bag and the other bags in her consideration set, but she's not in love with it. She uses it for travel, but not for daily use when she's at home. The bag does the job, but it doesn't delight her. That's Act 3, the outcome of the story. And this neutral satisfaction tells you something important about the 4th force, inertia. She had had her old bag for years. She knew where everything went. Switching meant relearning a whole new organizational system. All those habits and sunk costs were pulling her back toward the status quo. The push and pull barely overcame the friction and inertia in her story, and that's why she ended up settling. Here's the basic formula behind every product purchase. A switch only happens when push plus pull is greater than inertia plus friction. And research on loss aversion tells us that people weigh losses roughly twice as heavily as gains. So friction and inertia carry double the weight in the customer's mind. That's why in startup world especially, incremental improvements don't trigger switches. You need a 10x step change. Now there are 3 acts to every purchase story: trigger, search, and outcome. Every customer goes through this story exactly the same way, whether they're buying a bag, a SaaS tool, or an enterprise platform. And buried inside that story are the exact specifications for a product that they can't refuse. Let me show you how to extract them next. You could do all of this work manually. I did that for years. Record the interview, transcribe it by hand, then read through the transcript looking for the trigger, the forces, the criteria, score everything, then do it again for 10 more interviews and try to find patterns across all of them. It certainly works. I did it this way for a decade, and it takes roughly 30 to 40 hours for a proper study. But now there's a much better way. The Sarah laptop bag interview I just talked you through is a real interview conducted by Job to Be Done experts, Chris Speak and Erwin Folks. This is a 45-minute interview where they expertly unpack Sarah's story that you can probably find still online somewhere. But rather than doing all this work manually, I'm going to upload the interview recording directly into LeanSpark. LeanSpark's going to transcribe it, analyze the conversation, and extract all the insights in just under 3 minutes. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the switching timeline, the emotional journey of a customer moving through the 3 acts. You see this curve, it starts neutral, drops when the trigger hits, and the old way breaks down. It dips even further during the search as candidates get fired, and then it rises when the new solution is hired. Dips slightly again for the trade-offs, and then settles at the satisfaction level. The green zone here is satisfied, the orange zone is dissatisfied, and the purple is the band of uncertainty during the search. Next, let's look at Act 1, the trigger. LeanSpark identified it automatically from the transcript, the exact moment in the customer's mind when their world changed. In Act 2, you can see these dips. Each one is a candidate that got fired, and this peak over here, that's the moment when they hired the chosen solution, the Cole handbag. And now here's where it gets tactical. LeanSpark automatically extracts the hiring criteria, firing criteria, and trade-offs into structured tables. Each criteria is sorted by importance and category tags. In the case of the firing criteria, you get to see every rejection from early candidate solutions in one single view. These are your must-have table stakes that your product must absolutely get right or you're going to get fired too. Then we have hiring criteria, what attracted them to the chosen solution, ranked by importance. These are your performance factors, the competitive dimensions where more is better, the axis where you normally are going to compete in. And then finally, we have the trade-offs. These, as you remember, are the compromises that they're currently living with. This is often where you're going to find your gold mine. Remember, Sarah accepted a bag that was too big to really double as a purse. That was one of her original requirements, and she gave up on it. If you solve that trade-off, you're not just meeting expectations, you're creating genuine delight. You're giving them something they'd stop hoping for. These are your delighter features, the unexpected improvements that create word of mouth. 3 types of criteria, 3 types of product insight. Firing criteria tell you what you must get right. Hiring criteria tell you where to compete, and finally trade-offs tell you where to create something nobody else is building toward just yet. Most founders only obsess over hiring criteria. They try to outperform the competition on the obvious dimensions, but the real leverage is in the trade-offs. Next, let me show you the customer forces balance meter. It tells you whether this customer is likely to switch at all. Now, all these insights is just from one interview, but watch what happens when you have 5, 10, or 15 interviews. LeanSpark aggregates all the hiring, firing, and trade-off criteria across every interview into these pivot tables. Rows are solutions, columns are categories, and the numbers are importance scores. The patterns that took me weeks to find manually, well, they just jump off the screen. Right down below the table, you'll find the MVP cocktail. LeanSpark maps firing criteria to must-haves, hiring criteria to performance factors, and trade-offs to delighter features. Then it recommends your 2 primary axes, the top performance criteria and the top delighter you should probably focus on. These 2 axes become the foundation of your MVP design. Not a feature list, not a product roadmap, 2 specific dimensions where you can win. One where you can outperform and one where you can delight. This entire analysis from audio upload to switching timeline to MVP axis takes about 2 minutes per interview. What used to take 30 or 40 hours for a full study done by experts can now be done just in an afternoon. But ultimately, it still doesn't replace your judgment. The goal here isn't to let the tool do all the thinking for you, but rather to structure the evidence so your thinking and judgment becomes a lot clearer. So now you have the switching story, the forces, and the criteria. You have your must-haves, your performance factors, and your delighters. The real question is, what do you actually build next? How do you turn a pile of interview evidence into 5 clear decisions about your MVP? That's the 5P framework and what I'll cover in the next video in the series. The one thing to remember from this video is that the trade-offs your customers are living with right now, the compromises they've accepted, the things they've stopped hoping for, that's often where you'll find your biggest opportunity. Not in the performance features your competitors are fighting over, but in the gaps nobody's bothering to close. As you saw here, LeanSpark can help you quickly extract the full switching story from your interview recordings, the timeline, the forces, the hiring and firing criteria, and the trade-offs. You upload your audio, get your switching story in 2 minutes. It's free to get started, and you'll find the link in the description below. Next time, I'm going to cover the 5P framework for turning switching stories into an MVP your customers cannot refuse. Until then, take care.